Hey guys, Casey here from Fall Mitten Outdoors, and I'm out here with Ashton. And this video might be for you if you're just getting into waterfowl hunting, goose hunting especially. We'll go over what to look for and how to get yourself on a good goose hunt. So we're going to talk to Ashton and get his aspect on things and what he thinks is most important. So Ashton, maybe we should start off talking about scouting and getting permissions to hunt.
Yeah, so in this area the birds have been hit really hard. We know a couple other groups of guys that pound them. We really work this area a lot. So it just starts with make sure you have permission on the properties. Luckily for us, all these properties here we're able to hunt. Really it's scouting. Scouting is number one after you've got permission to be on that land. Good scouting makes good hunts. If you don't scout, you've probably seen in a couple of our other videos. I mean, we kill birds, but it's never like this. Like me and Casey, it took us longer to set up and break down than it did to kill our geese. And sometimes it's super fun, you know, but it's nice when you got a big group of guys, you can shoot a bunch of birds. But this was a fun little hunt. So I'd say scouting, paying attention to your east and west, where the sun's going to come up, which can be in your face, to your back. Ideally, you don't want the sun right in your face. We like to hunt with the wind at our back all the time and get the birds to drop down right in front of us. In this hunt today, we scouted last night. We seen a good couple hundred birds on here. They were on this high bit of a rise, this little saddle. So we tried to hunt that. We brought out not too big of a spread, probably 3 dozen full bodies and 3 dozen sillos, 2 layout blinds, and we kind of just set ourselves in a pocket. We either like to do a big J hook, a U, or kind of like an X with family groups, which is what we did today. And the birds, they landed right in the holes, so it made for quick work. But we pay attention as far as calling goes. We kind of listen to the birds. We're not great callers, but we're good enough to get the job done. So if the birds are making a lot of noise, we kind of try to emulate that. If they come in real quiet, we kind of stay quiet. Today we had a strong north wind, so we put that at our back. You know, the sun came up and it was a little bit out front of us more than we'd like, but it is what it is. With a strong wind like this, we kind of had to play it. We started off with a side shoot. The birds were really working hard into the wind. We couldn't get them to do it out front, so we shifted our blinds, which goose hunting you'll find is you fail a lot until you figure out what works. And we're always changing. We're moving the blinds, we move the decoys, we call, we don't call. There's a lot into it, but it starts off pretty great, man. These birds still want to be in here, and we've been out here for an hour just kind of hanging out BSing. But
what's the best thing to look for in a field when you're going to set up on a field? What are you looking for as far as the contour of the fields?
Well, in my experience, the best parts of the field are going to be the highest parts of the field. That's where the birds like to be. You know, they're not a predator animal. They like to be on the lookout. So if they're on the high part of the field, they can see anything sneaking up on them. Now we've had some fields where that's not the case. Real bad weather, we've shot them down in the low part of the field. For the most part, a flat field makes it a little easier, but fields like this in northern Michigan, we don't have many flat fields. So you can look at this field and it's super hilly, and I'm talking big hills. So we are way up here on this hill. This is where the birds were last night. We scout where the birds are, is where we drop our pin, and that's where we set up. So being on the X is the easiest way to kill birds. If you're scouting, you don't just want to hunt that field just wherever. I mean, if these birds are all over this saddle like they were last night, I dropped a pin on my scout. I got a hold of Casey. I said, we got to hunt in the morning. When we came out this morning, we knew exactly where we needed to be, where we needed to set up, and it just makes it that much easier. Because out here in the dark, things look a little different. So where you think might be a good spot, because you knew birds were on the field, doesn't necessarily mean that's where they want to be. So you could hunt a field where there's a ton of geese and just pick them off slowly, or you can get them all to dump like we did at 20 yards today. which is just perfect, and it's something to see. It's beautiful to see, just to see those birds coming down like that. More than just killing them. I mean, we like piling them up, but having them work for us right out front and then convince them to come join our party, that's the best part about what we do, in my opinion. So the importance of a hide, after getting permission and finding out a field where birds want to be, your hide is the next, I would say, over calling, over decoys, over anything. Make sure you're hidden good. You can get away with a dozen decoys and not a simple moan and cluck, but your hide is what will break your hunt. And for us, we're in this corn stubble field. They cut it for silage, and we just made we have some old straw, some corn. Just make it the color of the environment you're hunting. Try to blend in as best as possible. The rule we stick by is if you have enough cover in your head, put more. You can never have too much. Just try to stay with the same colors as the land, and keep your head down. That sun will break you.
Don't be afraid of a lot of hard work.
Yeah, put more work. Shooting them is not goose hunting, right? That really is the easiest part about it. It's everything leading up to you killing those birds. Like finding the field, seeing where you need to be, making sure your hide's right, setting the decoys in a convincing manner that those birds want to come right into the pocket. A hunt where you are being skirted by birds or shooting them 50 up, yeah, you can kill birds like that, but that's not as satisfying as when you can hear their freaking wings flapping and them breathing right over you. That's what I like. So if you put in enough hard work, you don't got to be a great goose caller. You don't got to own 10 dozen decoys. That's what you like to see in an area you're hunting. A lot of traffic. Yep. That's a beautiful thing there.
Yeah, it is.
We're not no grinder, but we call them in and we kill birds, and we're successful at it, and we really enjoy it. And hopefully you guys can take a little bit from what we do, and you can get out and kill some birds too.
Yep. Don't be afraid to get up 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours of sleep.
Yep. Find yourself a good group of friends that's willing to go out and be miserable with you. You'll wake up early. You'll do a lot of hard work and set up. You'll sit there in the dark for a little bit, hoping that it all works out. Then it won't work out, and you'll have to change the spread. And then, I mean, they give it up every time. It just takes some tweaking. Don't be afraid to move stuff. I'd say I take a lot of slack from my buddies saying I'm too ADD, but I'm moving decoys the whole hunt. I just want to see them do what I know that they'll do, and that's the best part about it. I think that's the best feeling, is when they successfully do what you plan on them doing.
Well, there's your tip from Fall Mitten Outdoors. Hope you guys get out there and enjoy this fall weather, and put some meat on the deck.